The year was 2009. I was 8 years old and extremely bored. So I decided to go looking through my dad's stuff in the attic. A bunch of old junk, camping equipment, and a wall of CDs. My first exposure to some of the greatest video games ever made. StarCraft Brood War, Age of Empires 2, Empire Earth, The Sims 2, Universe at War, Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth, and one game that I absolutely fell in love with. Stronghold Crusader. An RTS that combined castle building with medieval sieges, a Crusades backdrop, and a dude that would say, INFIDEL! A lot. If it wasn't for Stronghold Crusader, this channel wouldn't exist. Or I'd be doing like makeup tutorials or something, I don't know. And now 23 years later, we have the remastered Stronghold Crusader, Definitive Edition. So today, in the honor of 8-year-old Kleaper, who could barely beat a level in the starting campaign, I'm gonna completely break this game by doing a 1v7 against the hardest AIs. But first, how does this game actually work? So welcome to Stronghold Crusader Definitive Edition. This is the remaster for Stronghold Crusader. I'm a little disappointed they didn't keep the original menu screen because I think that was honestly a lot better. So I just set up a quick skirmish and we will run in super fast, and here we go. So this is our main base right here. We have our stockpile filled with all of our different, oh boy, uh-oh. I'm still getting used to the controls.
Your popularity is falling.
So these are our stockpiles, which we use for all of our resources. I need to build a granary because people are currently starving, and there we go. I can build some food production buildings, and you'll see that my people here who are jobless are now going to get up, pull themselves up by the bootstraps, and pick apples until they die. So in the bottom right, you can see I have money, I have my happiness, and the higher that is, the more people and the faster people are going to join. Over here on the right, we can make some, some stone producing buildings. Watch as the people who are picking all the apples are immediately being shot and dying. We can worry about that later. I also need to build some houses for my workers, and there we go. Now you see more people are gonna start joining. The more people we have working for us, the higher the taxes are. I can jack those up a little bit. And now the AI opponent is actually going to start attacking. They haven't really done a whole lot. Actually, I could probably just bring my Crusader Lord over here, just beat the crap out of them. You can see everybody's going to start fighting. Then the moment the Crusader Lord gets over here, he's just going to begin completely destroying them. A lot of this game is in all the supply chain stuff. So you see we have that ox who's trying to deliver all of our stone. We have the woodcutters who deliver the wood, the apples delivering the apples. Yes, that makes sense. The only thing they're delivering is a one-way ticket to a grave because they keep getting shot. In order to recruit units, I can either build a barracks or I can build a mercenary post. Wait. Oh, my favorite line in the entire game. I don't have enough wood, so we can just go to the stockpile, buy a little bit more through the market, and then build this mercenary post. The units in here require equipment, but are very cheap to recruit in terms of money. The units in here do not require equipment, but also are very expensive. We want to keep our popularity relatively high, so you can see we have +4 from our food and -4 from our tax. So as long as our popularity is net 0, people will continue joining the castle, and that's pretty much what we want. All right. Hopefully I've explained this well enough, and now we can move into the 1v8. But first I have to kill the rat over here, and I'm just gonna do it by immediately turning everybody into ninjas. I absolutely love the way they walk around. They just do this little sneaky animation. Well, the rat is about to get completely killed because 30 ninjas are sneaking in here, and his lord should be dead. In the bottom right, you can see that we get messages from all of our opponents, and I absolutely love them. Now that we've got the basics out of the way, I'm gonna completely break this game by fighting 7 opponents and showing you just how busted the economy is. 8-year-old me might not have realized this at the time, but now that I am considerably older, I realize that this game is not balanced in even the slightest. So in terms of enemies, we'll go with all the hard ones. We've got the Wolf, we've got Richard the Lionheart, Saladin, my absolute favorite, Caliph. The most fun thing to do in the entire game. One of the new characters, the Sentinel.
Shields up.
The Abbot, and Frederick. All of them are, of course, going to be on the same team. We'll just throw them all together. And without further ado, let's go. So the first thing we have to do immediately when we spawn, we'll throw down this granary. Food is not actually important, as we're going to learn very soon. I will then proceed to put down a bunch of stockpiles, throw down the market, and normally, you'd like to put down some wood woodcutters to get wood. Honestly, who cares? We're just gonna buy all of our wood because it's super cheap. In terms of food, I will need a tiny bit of food, so we'll put some orchards, a dairy farm, a wheat farm, and then to top all of it off, I'm going to immediately throw down a massive cathedral. The reason is because the cathedral gives us a permanent +2 popularity bonus because of religion, so I can immediately start taxing people. We also need that good old mercenary post to get a bunch of Arabian bowmen, and we just need to bring all of our units right to the front lines so we can actually defend right here. Our first enemy is going to be, I think this is the Sentinel, and again, all of his people are immediately dying because we are just shooting his workers before they can mine ore. I have now spent all of our money, and we are slowly getting a little bit more money back every so often, but now it's time to unleash my grand strategy. Is it some super armored unit? Is it using cavalry? Is it one of the new units? These are all good guesses, but it's actually dancing bears. If I go into my construction tab, into my town buildings, on the right side, there are good things and bad things. The bad things are things like gallows, heads on spikes, cesspits, you know, all that lovely fun stuff. But the good things, if I come over here, let's just put down some dancing bears. We'll throw down a couple of these. Then, you know what, we'll throw down some maypoles as well. Why not? Just get lots and lots and lots of these. We are swarming the entire world with a million kids who are just dancing constantly on these maypoles. And now if I go into my popularity, you can see that it has gone up by 5 from fear factor. So with lots of good things, you can gain a popularity bonus, but now all of our peasants are 50% as efficient. We could also go the reverse and make our peasants more efficient at the cost of a popularity debuff. The reason we want all those popularity buffs is now that I am at a whopping +9, I can swap my taxes to extortionately high.
I can't pay that. A message from the Caliph. Watch your back, knight. Watch your back.
Oh my god, what the hell? A bunch of these guys just got over here and they're setting everything on fire. I did not mean for this to happen. Okay, the woodcutter just killed him. Ha! All right, so our economy is now up and running. We've got our popularity just barely okay. We are employing tons and tons and tons of people, so our taxes are now going up. We're getting a little bit more money. And we also literally have no food. Now, having no food, I'm also just gonna switch us to no rations. So now we are not consuming any food. People are not gonna be so happy about that. So what I'm gonna do is just drop my taxes to 0. We'll just throw that to no taxes. And now people are just okay with that. So now nobody gets any food. I'm basically running my economy now on just selling all the goods that come in. I'm gonna go and build myself a church right up here. Oh, the abbot is actually sending his first attack, and it's just gonna be lots and lots of monks. He just likes to use them. They're not very good. They're all dying very quickly, actually. So this guy's economy is still actually doing pretty well. Let's take a look at how everyone is doing. We've got all our different opponents. They're building their castles. Saladin is kind of going completely insane with his. The wolf is, I think this is the wolf, and he's pretty scary. A lot of our opponents are more late game oriented people, so we're gonna build some lookout towers right about here, then get a little bit of a staircase, and we can start putting archers all the ways at the top to give us a bit more range. And these guys are immediately walking to their deaths, aren't they? We are running pretty low on the money department, so I'm just gonna start giving people food again. I know, it's a crazy concept. And then the reward for that is I'm gonna instantly increase our taxes to crueler than cruel. But what we really need to do is increase our taxes. And the best way to do that is to just get more people, which means we need to find ways to employ people. Now, something that does not employ people is recruiting them as soldiers. That does not count towards our taxes because the soldiers do not pay taxes. So people like these woodcutters, these apple pickers, all of these breweries, you could ignore these, and our bread makers, all of those are considered jobs. But you know what else is considered a job? Being in a water pot. So if I go all the ways off into the corner and I just start throwing down these absolutely worthless water pots, normally these are supposed to put out fires if they happen. We're really not gonna have any fires, so they don't matter a whole lot, but each of these water pots employs 3 people. So you can see that all these water people are gonna go run over there, and those count as jobs towards our taxes. Each water pot employs 3 people, is extremely cheap to build, only 60 gold. So it is one of the best ways to just employ masses of people to do nothing. Now that our tax income is really starting to rocket, I mean, these people don't even have jobs and they're still being taxed. What we do need to start doing is getting some better ranged units, because these archers are only going to do so good, and we kind of need to defend against what will eventually be attacks from all of these guys, so we need to start getting crossbows. One of the nice things is that if I can't see, I can just do this, and then that'll immediately drop all the buildings so that I can build exactly where I want to. That will throw down some of these in order to get some leather armor, put down some Fletcher's workshops in order to get crossbows made. So now the Fletchers are going to take wood, turn those into crossbows, and the Tanners are going to take cows, if I have any over there. They're going to take those cows and turn them into leather armor. I am getting to the point where we're getting a little overcrowded. I honestly need more space for dancing bears and maypoles.
My men are eager for battle, and so am
I think Lionheart is going to be attacking soon then. Well, unfortunately, the AI in this game is not very smart, and they ran all their archers in front of the rest of their army. I think one of the most satisfying things about this game is that as long as you just like keep archers near the enemy base, they'll keep shooting all the workers, and eventually you can see like there are not even enough people to work the ox posts because they are all getting shot. Oh crap, where's catapults? That's probably not great. Oh no, they hit a cow. Okay, yeah, they are actually doing some serious damage to us right now. I have to repair a lot of this stuff. I'm also realizing that my enemy has built a few vineyards and wheat fields in my base that I kind of need to destroy. The abbot's thing is that he just sends lots and lots and lots of monks who are insanely cheap and easy to recruit. Unfortunately for the abbot, that's basically all he does. Actually, these catapults are kind of scary, but we should be able to destroy them before anything super bad happens. I say as I think someone just got hit directly by another catapult shot. The monks themselves, you know, they try their best, but their best is not really all that good. It's nice that everybody still loves me despite my downright cruel taxes, and I do want to get those taxes up just a little bit. So obviously the best way to do that is not feeding people more consistently, but giving them beer. So we're just gonna throw down a few of these breweries, and that should make our people considerably happier despite the whole lack of food. I'm starting to tower push a little bit. They're building some fire ballistas, which are a little bad, but we're just gonna push directly into this guy's base, and we should be good. All of these symbols above the buildings just means that they don't physically have the workers to man any of this, so the Sentinel's economy is essentially gone. I think he's slowly dying because we're just shooting him very, very, very slowly. Meanwhile, because of the alcohol, we are getting a +6 mood bonus, which is crazy. Lots of drunkards just kind of walking around. But as long as they pay taxes, I don't really care. People are still quite happy. No food, high taxes, that's what I like to see. And I've also got a mangonel now, so we're just gonna start firing, I think in like this general area, and beginning to destroy all of these walls very slowly. All right, this guy's basically on his death throes right now. He has to, I believe he's demolishing buildings because he doesn't physically have the resources to do anything anymore. So I figure it's time we put him out of his misery by sending about 63 monks over there to beat his ass. These guys might be old, probably a little overweight. They have no armor, no actual combat experience whatsoever to speak of, but they are still weirdly good at just beating down stone walls with their staves. I don't know how it's possible, but they are extremely good at doing that, and now we're just gonna rush all of them through this gap. And they're also just spawn camping these very poor citizens. I'm very sorry, Mr. Sentinel, but a giant army of monks is going to beat the crap out of you. And he is dead. Oh, that is going to reveal the pretty sizable Richard the Lionheart army behind it. Pikemen might be scary, but, you know, honestly, they're not scarier than all of the monks combined, just hitting them with their stat. There we go. I'm also going to start messing with some of our allies across, or some of our enemies across the bridge, because I think if I recruit these guys, these are engineers, so we can build some siege equipment with them, and I'm just gonna throw down some trebuchets, and now we could just start bombarding his base from across the river and trying to ruin his economy. One of the special parts of this game to me is the fact that when I was younger, this game is so quotable that my parents and my brother all quote every single quote from this game to this day. It's been 15 years. and they still remember half the quotes from half the units. Every single crossbowman quote, probably a lot of these, the engineer quotes, the swordsman quotes, the pikeman, the maceman. It's insane how memorable so much of the dialogue in this game is, especially with all of the random lords just yelling at you all the time. Specifically, the Caliph just shouting infidel every other 5 seconds. Finally, I'm able to do maximum taxes, crueler than cruel, and boom, 0 popularity decrease or gain. Perfection at its finest. Because that other guy died, I've also now got space to just start throwing down a metric crapload of these things. The economy is being entirely propped up right now by a bunch of young men who are all wielding pails of water. Although I think my favorite thing to do in this game is launch cow. I don't think this guy has anything to combat disease, and if I throw the cow right about here, right in the very center of his army. Go, my cow! There we go. Now we can start spreading disease. It's, oh my god, it's killing all of his civilians who spawned. They're actually just being spawn camped. It's just like dying. Oh, yes. They're starting to really step up the attacks now. They're actually destroying some of my trebuchets, unfortunately. Worse yet, they're attacking the economy, but they are definitely not able to stop me from launching even more cows into their base. Go, my cow army. Destroy them. It does surprisingly decent damage. All right, you know what? I feel like I've been a little mean to the Caliph, so instead I'm going to go easy on him, and we're just going to start targeting his granary and destroying all of his food. There we go. Welcome to Starvation Town. Population less than it was before. All right, I've got 114 monks now, and okay, the abbot might actually beat our monk army because this is his garrison. He just has so many monks, and they're not very good, but there are a lot of them. So I am trying to build up a actually decent army of dudes over here. Meanwhile, I have done nothing but destroy this granary over and over and over again. Also, that's the wolf. He is usually the actually most difficult attacker in the game. Oh yeah, okay, there's his army on his way. Although this is not really that bad because he's, again, sending all of his crossbows. Wait, what is that woodcutter doing? That is the bravest woodcutter in the world. All right, 128 monks, I believe in you. Actually, I don't. That's a lie. Nothing better than the sweet monk-on-monk action over here. A bunch of bald, overweight men fighting a bunch of other bald, overweight men. Oh, no! No, he had pitch! I didn't realize! I sense I've made a mistake. The taxpayer will pay dearly for this. Okay, then let's try a slightly different strategy of taking like a metric ton of catapults and completely bulldozing the walls that way. That should work considerably better. Unless all my units get set on fire again. Then that's not good. All right, I am really praying that there is no pitch here. All the monks are coming out and fighting though. And my pikemen are losing okay, no, you guys need to stop firing. Oh wow, he just destroyed everything. The AI usually just does that when they need gold. And he is spending every single available dollar on training more monks. Actually, I'm not even sure that's possible because he doesn't have the building to train monks. He demolished his own churches for it. Come on, we're almost there. You just need to get through a few civilians first. Nothing you weren't accustomed to already. Oh God, I don't know if we can break through this. 11, come on, come on. Come on. There we go. So there goes the abbot, which means now we have archers stuck in place. That should fix itself soon. Very soon. Very, very, very soon. Oh, they're not even, I can't even attack them. I like how this is what my main base looks like. Maybe a little normal. Also, it is now thundering outside. I hope my power doesn't go off. And then the guy who I killed, his base is just this. The economy is thriving. All of the very demanding jobs for the children, which are just running around the maypoles and generating me popularity so I can tax their parents. You know what? No, I don't discriminate. I'm gonna tax them too.
We're all starving, lordship.
I like how the guy who says we're all starving is also carrying the bread. Like, the bakers have to carry the bread into the granary, but they're not allowed to eat any of it. They just have to watch. One of the nice quality of life features that they've added is an auto buy and auto sell. So I'm just farming pitch and pottery for basically just the purpose of selling it, so I can just auto sell all of my extra pottery. All right, now we've got to move on to the next castle, and this one is Frederick. Although again, a lot of his Workers are just walking straight into crossbow fire and dying. One of the cool things I find about this game is starving your enemies out is a very valid strategy, which is obviously a lot like how normal castles were sieged in the medieval ages, which is you never really stormed them, you just kind of waited outside until everybody starved and then surrendered. Of course, I say all of that and then immediately ignore everything I just said by sending 50 pikemen in because I have 36 catapults. And Frederick prepared to be poked by a lot of sharp sticks. The lords of this game are so tanky. I mean, he's being attacked by a metric ton of units and he's still alive. And now we just have to go past this choke point right here in order to get to the Lionheart. Fortunately, it looks like his economy is already not doing very well. Then we have to get through the Wolf, and I am not looking forward to that one. The Caliph, who uses a lot of fire throwers, actually, which will kill everything really fast. And then Saladin with his big old garrison. Meanwhile, I have 27,000 gold, and honestly, the only thing limiting me is just the amount of people I can get to the castle. It's kind of hard to get new people to move in when the only jobs open are standing in front of a pot of water or getting shot in the fields farming wheat. It's actually really fortunate the Wolf is sending most of his army right now because they are probably just going to walk right through here, get completely evaporated. I also totally forgot to show off some of the new units. They have some slightly new abilities, but a lot of them are just slight changes to some of the mercenaries. Although the heavy camel is definitely one of the more fun ones because it is just a camel with 2 guys on it. All right, time to push over the bridge with 128 horse archers. Oh my God, this is a massacre. This is definitely not money cost effective, but there's not really a lot that they could do against all these horse archers. Of course, I say that, and then they immediately send melee units out who are really, really good against them. Good thing he closed the gates. Now I can't get in. Is what I would have said if the wall weren't gone. Sorry, Mr. Lionheart, you know I love you, but these pikey boys do not. The Wolf, on the other hand, is a lot more prepared. He's got a ton of crossbows, and I think he's actually got pitch all around his castle. I'm 90% sure he is not afraid to set his own people on fire, so I do need to be a little careful. Oh wait, I just realized I can launch 36 cows. Oh my God. No! It crashed my game! Are you serious? Oh my God, I didn't save my game either. That's so silly. Well, I didn't want the video to end like that, so instead of launching 30 cows, I'm gonna see if I can launch like 100. Oh, it didn't crash the game. Oh my God. Unfortunately, you can't destroy the keep with catapults, so instead I'm just pulping everybody on the top of it. Either way, Stronghold Crusader is a game that has impacted my childhood and the rest of my life significantly. I probably wouldn't be a YouTuber doing this if I hadn't played Stronghold Crusader. Probably for as long as I live, my family will never stop saying, "Unneeded." Anyway, thanks for watching. See ya.